What is going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic start to your week. Getting the ball rolling here. It's been crazy busy. Crazy busy over here for me. By the way, how do you guys like the new gym setup? This new office slash gym that I tend to spend about 13 hours a day in. Makes me happy. Okay, guys. So today I want to talk about yo-yo-itis. Yo-yo-itis, aka diet hopping. This is a problem. This is a problem that I'm seeing a lot with people. And really what's going on, is I talk to folks and they say the number one problem really is that they lose motivation. And they just have a heart, like they get excited about a diet, they do it for a little while, maybe they lose weight, maybe you lose 20 pounds, and then you lose motivation, and then you quit, and then 3 months later you've gained all your weight back, and then the cycle just continues, right? Every few months you get ramped up, you get motivated again, you go for it, you go hard, you get that 10, 15, 20, 30 pounds off, and then you lose motivation, and then you gain it all back, right? How do we stop this? What are we gonna do? Spend the rest of our life, going up and going down? And the simple solution that we got to remember, guys, is that motivation is temporary by nature, right? You are not going to always be motivated to do it. And in fact, I would even argue that the more you do something, the less motivated you get to actually do it, right? It just becomes another thing on your to-do list. And that is what separates the people who are successful with nutrition and dieting and the people who will be stuck in an endless cycle of yo-yoing, right? Because a couple of things are probably happening here. Number one, you were on a unsustainable diet to begin with, or exercise regimen to begin with, right? You probably took on way too much, and then maybe by sheer motivation and effort you were able to accomplish a 6-week challenge or a 12-week challenge or whatever. But then as soon as it was over, there really wasn't the infrastructure in place to sustain you for the long haul, right? In other words, you could, by sheer will, you were able to force yourself to complete something, but then ultimately it was never sustainable to begin with, and so you ended up falling off and then gaining all the weight back, right? So, really what we all have heard of, and we've all heard of the quote, simple, not easy, right? And this perfectly exemplifies what that means. Because at the end of the day, the simple part is you have to eat less than your body burns off. We all know that. It's not rocket science at this point, right? You have to move your body. You have to eat less calories than your body burns off. That's the simple part. The not easy part is making it sustainable for you indefinitely, right? What is the meal plan that you look forward to with foods that you enjoy so you can be consistent forever, right? What is a workout routine that isn't necessarily going to set Olympic records, but it's something you can come back to constantly over and over again and ultimately just be consistent with so we can get those results indefinitely, right? And I think that that's number one, is just landing on something that actually just freaking works for you. Getting out of fads. You don't have to cut carbohydrates out. You don't have to cut fats out. You can pretty much eat whatever you want as long as you account for those calories appropriately and it fits into your daily limit. That's really the secret right there, right? Also, not getting too hung up on the idea that exercise is the end all be all. We all got to move our body, super important that we do, but don't make any mistake about it that you cannot out-train a bad diet, right? And I would even make the argument that if you are dependent on your fitness due to countless hours in the gym, that would be creating a dependency around exercise, as a matter of fact. And so, the problem is that as soon as life will inevitably toss a curveball at you and you can't go to the gym for 3 hours a day, then you might find that you start to lose your shape because you actually haven't created a balanced health portfolio, so to speak, meaning that your nutrition, your hydration, your exercise, and everything is in balance. So that way, if one takes a dip in a given week, you don't have to worry about losing all of your results, right? So that's this whole sustainability approach that is just ultimately going to keep you going for the long haul. So when motivation fades, which it will, you don't have to get stuck in that endless cycle of yo-yoing over and over again, because you've created an infrastructure, you've created a balanced regimen that will support you and isn't too invasive or unrealistic that you ultimately couldn't sustain it in the first place anyways, right? And also there's just a little bit of mental toughness. It's a little bit of grit that you gotta have. You know, at the end of the day, guys, you're not gonna wanna work out all the time, right? You're not gonna wanna eat another damn protein and rice meal. You know what I mean? Like, you're gonna have your days where you just don't feel like it, but what differentiates the people who are successful versus the people who are stuck in that endless cycle of yo-yoing is the ability to just do what you have to do when you have to do it, whether you freaking feel like it or not, right? Like, I eat 225 grams of protein a day. That takes freaking effort. Do I want to do that every day? No. But here's the thing. When I look at my measurables, right? When I look at my muscle mass, my body fat, my scale weight, and then just more, observational things like, how do I feel? How do I feel? How am I lifting in the gym? When I look at all those numbers and those metrics, I'm improving. So day to day, I might not want to eat 225 grams of protein. I might not want to hit 10,000 steps of walking. If it's a lifting day, maybe I'm tired because I worked all day. I had 17 phone calls. And I just don't feel like going to the gym. But you do it anyways. You do it anyways because it's what you've committed to. And you know that when you look back on a 12-week or a 6-month time horizon, when you've hit your numbers consistently, you've done what you had to do, whether you felt like it or not, and you look back on a time horizon, you have measurable increase in muscle tissue, you have measurable decrease in body fat, and you're stronger and you just feel better. That short-term inconvenience in the moment yields long-term sustainable results. And so it's obviously very, very worth it, and any wise person can see that. But it's the person who is setting unrealistic expectations, who is too outcome oriented and not process oriented, and who just essentially is trying to do everything at once, is what I'm seeing, right? Like, you go from not doing anything with calories or not doing anything with exercise to trying to take it all on at the same time. You try to, and then it's just overwhelming, and eventually you fall off and you just get stuck in this cycle of yo-yoing, right? So start simple is the key. Start super simple. Just walking is a great way to do it, getting your steps in. I know anybody on the East Coast or Texas is probably like not having any option to get outside and walk at the moment, but in normal situations, getting like a little at-home treadmill for a couple $100, you can just slide under your bed just to get your steps in. Like, that is a huge step forward, no pun intended. And then just looking up a basic calorie tracker to make sure you're not overeating. That should be everyone's number one starting point, is to just get moving 10,000 steps a day and then just eat less calories. Once you've mastered that, add on something more. And what you're doing is just basically what we call skill stacking. You're just stacking skills on top of each other, so no one skill is overwhelming you, but you're accomplishing a certain level of proficiency with one, then you add one more layer of complexity, then add one more. So then over the course of a month or so, you look back and you've got it all figured out, and it doesn't seem like so overwhelming or daunting. That's really how we want to approach this. You never want to take it all on at once. Stack your skills, be realistic, don't overcommit. Just accomplish one goal at a time. There you guys go. That is the answer to yo-yoing and diet hopping, is that you are going to lose motivation first and foremost. After 2 or 3 weeks, you're going to lose motivation, and that's when most people quit their diets, right? So once that motivation's gone, What do we do? Well, at the end of the day, we need to make sure we haven't taken on so much already that it's overwhelming and unrealistic for us to sustain that. And number two, just keep repeating successful actions, right? Like, just understand that, like, there just has to be a little mental toughness, just has to be a little grit. Do what you got to do when you got to do it, whether you feel like it or not, right? And when you look back on a period of time, you're going to have measurable results that will prove that your short-term sacrifice in the moment and discomfort in the moment has yielded long-term sustainable results. And that will give you a level of confidence with yourself and trust in your abilities to continue this forever and not have to simply rely on motivation or the next trend fad diet or the next 6-week challenge, but you actually have a solid infrastructure that you can now carry for the rest of your life. All right? And of course, if anybody needs help, if anybody wants me to build that plan for you, create a sustainable workout routine built around whatever you have access to, give you weekly nutrition coaching where we baby step you and implement foods that you enjoy, and then of course hold you accountable to see the entire thing through from beginning to end to get to your goal guaranteed, I want you to shoot me a message, drop a comment, let me know you're interested. Just raise your hand. We'll follow up with you. We'll get you signed up. We'll get this taken care of, okay? All right, guys. Love you all. Have a fantastic Tuesday. Hope that helps somebody out there, and I'll see you guys next time.